feel like I'm at the Grand Ole Opry in the circle here. Hey, I've got a big treat for you. I'm the 10th speaker. So guess what? We have massage therapists that I have hired to look after you. So please stand up. Everybody stand up. Now, turn to your left. Place your hand on the shoulder of the person and give a rigorous rub. Feels good, huh? You're laughing? Doesn't this feel good? Now turn and return the favor. Wow. Doesn't that feel good? Okay, who's going to do me? No. Okay, pardon my notes, but I don't do this for a living. So it feels good to connect, doesn't it? To laugh, to get out of our comfort zones. And honestly, isn't that what we're all yearning for? To be seen, to be touched, to be validated. You feel less alone. Each day we can make it a point to touch people, animals, our planet, and the rest of the world, and to open our hearts to be touched, to claim grace in all situations and bless the space between us, to find those special connections. How can we turn despair to delight? But there's a separateness, right? Something has shifted. There's a creeping separateness many of us feel, a kind of existential turbulence, especially over the past 10 years, an anxiety that we didn't used to have and didn't live quite so close to the surface. The pandemic accelerated it, but it didn't create it. Just as 9/11 gave us a new normal of shoe removal and security lines, we're quietly accepting this bit of disconnection as just the way things are now. We nostalgically crave simpler times with less fear and distrust. We paddle hard, we keep a brave face, but many of us feel just like that ugly duckling in the Disney cartoons I used to watch as a kid, swimming furiously in circles as the lake slowly freezes around him. My mom caught me weeping at this cartoon one day. "It's just a cartoon, Pam." She laughed, but I felt that little duck's fear in my bones. His aloneness, his world closing in. I suspect I'm not alone in that feeling. So I want to tell you about something. Sometimes pivotal events are benchmarks in our lives. I didn't share this publicly for a really long time, but then I was urged to talk about it because people really fear death. I had a near-death experience when I was just a teenager. It was precipitated by anaphylactic shock. I was stung in the face twice, and I passed out. And initially I thought I had this really weird dream. I saw a tunnel. I was floating above my body. There was this ethereal music. It was very Shirley MacLaine, let me say. And death was inviting me in. Now, the crazy thing was, I was very happy to go. I was very happy. It startled me that dying, the thing that we humans fear probably the most, was so very peaceful. But then I looked down and the body in the ER, and I realized that the figure below didn't look so good. And that was me. And I had a decision. Not everyone does. The selfish choice was to go to the great beyond, to stay in that bliss. But what pulled me back, and what always pulls us back, was love, specifically my mother's. The thought of her grief was unbearable. After all, kids are not supposed to predecease their parents. So that summer, this mortal coil was not yet through with me. I made a pact that day, a silent one, that I would come back and that I would look after my two parents. I kept that decade of pacts. And last March, my mom passed. The circle was complete. The promise was kept. The natural process was done. That experience gave me two things I've carried ever since. I have never feared death, and I've never stopped feeling the urgency of life. I muse, why was I given a second chance? What am I here to do? This is not a dress rehearsal. It's all hands on deck, as my pastor says. Make the most of it every single day. Make a difference, be a spark. Find your peace, find your community, find your space. It's easier than you think. So, how do we do that? How do we get back to us instead of me? Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, to get rid of our bloated nothingness. The ego, right? The ego. The judgment, the fears, the divisions. I just returned from Nepal. The Himalayas, Kathmandu, is an eye-opening place. I sang at the top of my lungs, Kathmandu! Bob Seger, right? Don't you love that song? I was like, oh my God, I'm here. So it was an amazing place. Amazing. This is what's there, all over the place. Anybody see these? They're called flags, prayer flags. And they are meant to carry prayers heavenward. And it blesses the whole place. They're symbolic of wisdom, peace, compassion, and strength. And they're activated by the wind. Now, the thing about Nepal is that the peace there is palpable. There are shrines everywhere. There are little boxes that look like our lending libraries, and there are neighborhoods. So imagine there being shrines in the middle of West Haven. That's what's there, and prayer flags. And people walk in and out of these places seamlessly. Just before I left, I strolled into an empty shop where a young man was happily singing and painting lovely watercolors, landscapes that I admired. He was named Taj, and he shared that he had no formal art training, and I asked what he was singing. He said, no, I'm not singing. I'm praying. I said, what are you praying? I asked. He said, oh, I'm just praying for peace. I'm praying for the world. That's what I do. He smiled. You know, you don't have to sit with monks on a mountain to pray. And there it was, that third place, that community, that random connection of two souls. We hugged, we took a photo, and he painted me 2 paintings I will always treasure. We blessed one another, a forever memory. There is a beautiful tradition in Nepal and many other places throughout the world. It's the concept of namaste. So namaste is this is how you do it. You put your hands together in front of your heart. And what it means is acknowledging the connection of the divine between each of us. It's beautiful and it's peaceful. The divine energy recognizes the divine spark with another. The union and the heart-centeredness, the holistic action and respect. This is the third place. This is a greeting and a blessing. So the practical acts of reconnection that starts smaller than we think. How do you elevate, enlighten, and empower? There's a great Hawaiian prayer. Anybody ever hear of it? It's Ho'oponopono. It's a practice of gratitude, forgiveness, and restoring harmony to make right, to correct a mistake. And it was being prayed for the Hawaiian State Hospital. And after a month or so, this very violent institution became peaceful. And the inmates got along, and they were able to get people to work there. They were having a really hard time finding people to work there. And here's how it goes. You can say it silently or with me. I'm sorry. But I want you to imagine someone who has wronged you. Got it? Somebody that you're having a hard time with. You say, I'm sorry. So you take responsibility for that connection between you and that difficulty. Next, please forgive me. You're seeking a release. Thank you. Gratitude. That's the lesson. That's the healing. And the final thing, I love you. How's it feel? Do you feel the energy shift a little bit? That's what it's about. Imagine if we did that more. It's hard to do when you feel that you've been wronged. I know, but it clears the air. It shifts the energy where it is stuck. And consider, haven't we all wronged someone? Haven't we wronged our divine creator? Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. It's not just a memorized rote prayer. It's the instruction manual about grace and ease, the opposite of dis-ease. The breath. Breathe in 4, hold it for 7 seconds, and exhale 8. It's palpable and it's necessary, especially when things are chaotic, especially when it feels fractured, especially when we don't feel the sense of community. So let that sink in. And in our everyday interactions, especially with young people, a few simple phrases go a long way. These are from our beloved Coach Gentry, those of us who are from this area. By the way, it works for big people too. How can I help you? I'm proud of you. I love you. Thank you. We. That last one, we. Such a small word, such a radical act. Now, I don't want to blame technology, but it gets blamed a great deal, doesn't it? That's too too simple. But I will say that our obsession with it is worth examining. The average person spends an incredible 4 to 5 hours on our phones. Yikes, and we play whack-a-mole with distractions. I do anyway. Scientists tell us that we are literally rewiring our brains. Our posture is changing. Our sleep cycles are disrupted. Mental health issues like bullying and depression, all negative side effects. Our attention is shifting to soft skills are waning. There are even countries that are starting to ban our phones, especially for kids under 16. This is not a villain story, it's a balance story. So how do we find that balance? I would argue putting our phones down once in a while. I would argue doing this, looking at each other, loving each other, hugging each other. Because alongside the benefits come real drawbacks. There are benefits of having phones. I mean, it kept us connected during the pandemic, right? We got GPS. I don't get lost as much. But it's the balance. Australia, Spain, Poland, France, Finland, China, Greece, Italy, to name a few, have already banned phones for kids under 16 in certain areas. We may even find warnings on phones like cigarettes in some distant future or close enough. I don't know. Because here's the truth. Technology does not control us unless we let it. It is a tool, and every single moment we have a choice. So, life is short, and since I was a teenager floating above my own body, I figured that out. The good news is connection is available to us constantly in random acts, in a grocery store, on a walk around the block, in a conversation with a stranger, in a moment of real eye contact. At a recent lunch at Scarrett Bennett, which I go to often, there was a symposium, and just chatting with people randomly in the lunchroom, I helped put a writer's night together. I interviewed someone for my podcast, a guy who is a doctor who plays for the Royal Academy in London. I had a new friend and a new soul connection. I leave little presents for my solid waste guys, Eric, Jolene, and Mike. Most weeks, they find candy on top of the bins or an apple or something. They bring my critters, dog biscuits, my 3 Pyrenees, Luna, Bogey, and Betty. We're a little community every Tuesday morning. My house is their first and favorite stop. Jolene is off work right now fighting cancer, and we're praying for her. Eric donated 40 hours of sick pay to help her. Harold at my Kroger, he's a piece of work. He likes Sprite. So back during COVID, I started doing COVID kindnesses, and I still do it. So I get a bottle of Sprite, and I said, Harold, here's a cold one. He said that he loves it. And I find that I get treated really well. Everybody wants to wait on me. I just keep it up. It makes someone's day, you know? So the collision of community, that's what I'm talking about. To connect the dots, how we live, what we consume, our carbon footprint, how we treat ourselves, our earth, and each other matters. So more of us and less of me. More grace, more forgiveness, more gratitude, more presence, focusing on what is true, noble, praiseworthy, to focus on what elevates us, not separates us. Find your third spaces. For example, I hear there's a really cool guy, Ben Franklin, on a bench downtown who'd like you to sit with him and visit. That's not naive. That's not a cartoon. That's just us choosing to stop swimming in circles and finally let the ice melt. Thank you, and namaste.